But what I saw was much worse.
Oh no.
It was an eye. Not just an eye, but the entire half of someone's face.
Phobias? I don't have anything specific. I mean, I have normal fears, or I would say normal fears. I'm probably scared of a few things that I shouldn't be. But honestly, phobias are like the unnatural fear of things that really can't hurt you or that don't normally hurt you, like sunlight. Of course, sunlight in a direct way can hurt you. It can burn you and stuff, but just being afraid of the sunlight is, I mean, unless you're a vampire, that's kind of odd, right? It's just, it's not normal. And people have the craziest phobias. I actually looked some up right here. There's a fear of not having a mobile phone called nomophobia. There's actually a phobia of having phobias. There's phobias of flowers. There's phobias of dancing and bathing, and I'm sure you could find something, a phobia for everything that's possible to be scared of. Kittens, children, headphones, computers, whatever. But today, there's a phobia that we're gonna look at by Spooked. It's pretty interesting. I think it'll be a scary story. Make sure to go over to Spooked's channel and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into the story.
I have a phobia that goes by a few names. Scopophobia, ophthalmophobia, the fear of being watched. I have this weird compulsion. Whenever I see a doorway, a window, or virtually any surface that I believe someone could hide behind, I imagine a face peering out at me.
Now that's a perfectly legitimate phobia. Now, typically, phobias don't exactly always, you're not just born with them, right? It's usually based on the conditioning of something that you either experienced or you imagined or you saw that gave you the fear, you know? And I mean, naturally, if you were scared of monsters when you were a kid, like, you wouldn't imagine monsters on your own without being influenced by something, right? So if you would get a fear of the dark, for instance, it would probably be related to something like that. Or if you hurt yourself in the dark, or just not being able to see. That's a kind of natural fear. Fearing that someone is watching you all the time, you get a strange feeling when you feel like you're being watched, right? I think that this is sort of natural.
Staring. I imagine what I would do. What could I do? You'll soon find out why I have this phobia.
Okay, good.
Around June of 2016, my mother and I were living in a small apartment. There was no basement or attic, obviously.
Right.
But there was one tiny crawl space. In the
Okay.
closet floor of my bedroom, I never looked in it. I suppose some people would be overwhelmed with curiosity, but my mind had already imagined all the worst scenarios. I decided to leave whatever dead bodies and ghosts were down there for whoever rented after us. It was a nice apartment.
Wow.
Small, but perfect for the two of us.
Right.
We lived there for a few peaceful months until the noises started. It was nothing extreme, just the odd bump in the night, and particularly scratching. My mom just brushed it off as rats in the walls. As long as they stayed in there, I saw no reason to get rid of them.
And it's an apartment. So when I think apartment, I think an apartment building. And I think that you're gonna have neighbors, either up, down, left or right, or in back of you. Yeah, in back of you. No, in back of you. You're not gonna have it front naturally because you have a. I suppose that you could, but that would be weird. But yeah, seriously, I mean, in an apartment, you would expect to get some noises because there's other people living there. But this may be a little different. And having a strange crawl space in your house, like, I mean, they got wires and hoses in the picture right there. So I imagine it wouldn't be anything that you would have to worry about too much. But that's, again, it's a phobia.
A week or two later, I had already grown used to the noise. It became almost comforting in a way. After all, I never really liked silence. That is, until I woke one night to a different noise.
Okay. Oh, you got the chills? I did. Oh my god, dude. Spooked. I mean, if you watch this video, dude, Your sound effects and narration is on point, man. Like, heebie-jeebies, bruh.
A rolling sound, eerily similar to the sound my closet made when I opened it.
Uh-huh.
I peeked my eyes and looked over, but I couldn't make out anything in the dark. I thought maybe I saw something move,
Phone light.
but I was well aware of how the mind plays tricks on you in the
Use
dark.
your phone light.
There was only one way to find out.
Yeah.
But what I saw was much worse.
Oh, no.
It was an eye. Not just an eye, but the entire half of someone's face, barely visible in the tiny crack he opened.
Oh, my God, dude.
He didn't even react to being caught. No smile, no fear, just watching.
Smile would have been a lot worse than just watching, okay? For me, at least. And look, you just got caught. You definitely have some sort of sinister intentions because you in my house and you watching me. But smiling means you are taking pleasure in this, and that means either you're about to murder me and you like seeing the fear, or that you just out of your mind, and they both scary.
My heart has never beat faster than that night.
God
I
damn.
wish I screamed, or maced him, or anything, but I just stared back, frozen in time, until I couldn't hold it anymore. I began sobbing loudly.
What?
I think I tried to say something along the lines of, "What do you want?" But it was garbled by my crying. He opened the door more. I could now see his entire body.
Wow.
Which I don't care to describe, as I've spent 2 long years trying to forget that face. "Shh," he said. I lost my breath at that.
He shushed him? Oh, God. Holy cow.
Hearing him made it real.
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't pretend this was some hallucination anymore.
It's not a dream.
At this, I sat up and pressed my back against the wall. "It's okay, Kevin." He said it so cheerfully. It gives me chills just remembering it.
He knew his name.
This is when I finally had the courage to run out of the room. This creep knew my name. My mom, still half asleep while she called the police, thought I had imagined it.
No.
Of course, by the time the police got there,
It was gone.
he was already long gone.
Right, of course.
All that was left of him was that damned crawl space. I never dared to look back inside. Apparently, he had been living there. For how long, I don't know.
Wow.
But the officers who first arrived on the scene said that there really were tally marks inside the crawl space. I didn't want to know how many. I didn't want to know whether he was marking days or weeks. I just wanted to leave that fucking apartment.
Dang.
And we did. The police never found him, not for certain. They thought they found a homeless man who matched his description, but he was apparently unresponsive. I've always thought they didn't take it all that seriously.
Right.
They just thought he was a squatter, even after I told them that he knew my name. They thought that, given how long he had seemingly been squatting, he had probably just heard my name through the floorboards.
Right.
Since that night, he has been the face I always see when there's an open door or closet. It's grown more distorted as time goes on, but I can always make out a part of his pursed lips, as if he's still hushing me, even
Right.
now. It's gotten easier with time, but I don't think it'll ever leave me completely.
No.
Anyway, I guess we didn't actually have rats.
I don't think the story's gonna ever leave me either. So, I guess the crawl space, what I'm thinking of would have been smaller. Like, when I saw the picture, it didn't really give me the idea of someone that can, a person can access it. I thought of crawl space and I thought, like, I don't know, much smaller, I suppose. But I guess it was, I guess it was big enough for a person. And even though, like, you would think, the cops said there could be squatters or whatever, it might have been a squatter. And if it was a squatter, he would definitely know his name because, I mean, he had to be there when people were talking to him, if he had been there for a while. I get my name said in my house all the time. So if somebody was squatting in my house, they would know that my name was Daniel, But dude, shushing me and coming out at night like that? Oh my. Great freaking story, Spooked. Make sure to check Spooked out, his channel right there, and make sure to check out these videos that I reacted to from Spooked as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.